Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode, or should I say, the last episode of Heroes 4, the Chaos campaign. So, also the last episode in the Heroes 4 playthrough. And I hope you have enjoyed the journey so far. A couple of things I have to announce or tell you. I did a recording, finished the campaign, and there was a hiccup from my part. I accidentally forgot to, I was looking stuff up, and then I clicked my hotkey for the image, you know, and then I forgot to turn it back to the desktop capturing. So that's too bad, and I thought, nah, I can't end the last episode and the final episode of the playthrough of the series with that. Nah, that won't hold. So I'm redoing this stuff, and I can tell you this: you haven't missed much. Hi, boy. What is it? I'm doing a recording here. Can I do that, please? Is that okay? Want to be in the lab? Can you stay in the lab then and not walking on my desk? It's no. Stay here, or you want to go down. You go. Yeah, here we go, boy. I have to cuddle a bit with my cat. Feels a bit lonely. I want some company, boy. Go. You haven't missed anything from that recording, really. I ran around and tried to level up to level 33, and I managed to do so. I can't reload back to that section. I don't think so, at least. Let's see what's... Okay, it's here. So if you want to see it now, this is the last... But then you have to see me run down to the dock to get, or yeah, the shipyard to get the ship, and that's, I mean, what's the point? Because you haven't missed anything important, no text, no nothing. So let's just go from here. I do apologize for it. It's a bit clumsy from my part, but sometimes that happens. It have happened before. Sometimes I can add the opportunity to fix it, but as you know, I do not edit my videos. Well, I'm not doing that yet anyway. I will edit videos maybe in the future. Also videos that are more like, yeah, I'm doing a montage or something like that, or I will do edit. I will do a video where I edit in different parts from playthroughs, so you can see what type of games I'm playing. But that's it. That's it. So yeah. Anyway, I do apologize for that part, my mistake, but yeah, sometimes that happens, and you just have to deal with it. I can't do much about it, but I do hope you can, yeah, forgive me for that, or yeah. I'm just gonna check a thing. No, I'm not gonna forget. So yeah, I do apologize. So I hope you can, yeah, that you can forgive me for that part. It's I did it again. Sorry. Anyway, let's continue here and finish the campaign. The pirates who live on these islands are bitter rivals of the mermaids, but they will only lower their chain to let the ship I'm gonna read this again. Sorry. The pirates who live on these islands are bitter rivals of the mermaids, but they will only lower their chains to let the ship captained by 20 Balfour pass. Glory to the pirate queen, the pirates cheer as they lower their chains. Go teach that mermaid, go teach that mer queen a lesson for us, they shout. But you best hurry, my queen. The mermaids watched us closely. In 5 days, the ones that at the sea monster's hatchery will know you passed this way, and they will retreat into the bottom of the sea. Last night I ordered the deck of the Feral Vixen to be cleared of everyone except Oba and myself. As the wind whipped at my long hair, I pointed at one of the dinghies. There's food and water in the air. I'm gonna read this again. Fuck. Sorry. Last night I ordered the deck of the Feral Vixen to be cleared of everyone except Oba and myself. As the wind whipped at my long hair, I pointed at one of the dinghies. There is food and water in there to last you 2 weeks, I told him. What's this? Have I done something? I couldn't look him in the eyes, so I walked to the railing and stared at the stars reflected in the dark sea. You have avenged your family, Oba. In your heart, you know it. That's why you no longer have the instinct to kill. If you stay here, you'll die. I can't leave. Yes, you can, and you will. I'm retiring you. Find a nice quiet place. Build yourself a home and fish. Or buy a ship. I also gave you enough gold to get you started. Do something other than pirating. You don't have it in you anymore. Oba's strong hand settled on my shoulder. I wanted to flinch away, but I couldn't. I loved having his hand there. I was so young then, Bonnie, and filled with hatred, but I don't want to leave you again. I took Oba's hand from my shoulder and held it in mine. You may be my father, but Black Balfour is my father too. Don't you see that, Oba? I have been forged in his world. I don't understand. Why can't you come with me? Because we are opposites, Oba. You have always looked back to the day your family was killed. I can't look back. Not ever again. I don't know if Oba finally understood, but he realized he wasn't going to get me off the ship. Together we lowered the dinghy into the Black Sea. And then Oba caught me by surprise. He wrapped his big arms around me for nearly a minute. I didn't struggle or protest. I soaked in his warmth and forever remembered his smell. Then my real father climbed down a rope ladder into the dinghy and rowed away into the night. I watched knowing I would probably never see him again. Goodbye, I said, fingering the hilt of my father's dagger. Oba's dagger, the one I have carried for most of my life. Write it in. Let's continue. So after I'm done with this campaign, I will talk a bit about the whole of the campaigns, what my thoughts are about them, and and so on. Nice. Yeah, we played for like 10 minutes, so this will be a short episode compared to the other one, but that's how it is. Okay, let's see now. I watched from the deck of the fellow vixen at the Mer Queen's floating throne sunk beneath the waves. The corpses of mermaids floating around me. The death and fire and destruction were everywhere. My new first mate, dirty-faced Deering, stepped next to me. It's a good thing Oba wasn't here to see this, I said without realizing I had spoken. Yeah, Deering said. I never liked that coward either. Don't know how he got such a reputation for being tough. All I saw was a whimpering. My father's dagger ended the sailor's insulting words and his life. I looked down at the blood on my hands and the corpse of my first mate and the destruction of the Mer Queen's forces. If Oba had been here, he would have finally understood that I am truly Black Balfour's daughter, even though I don't share his blood. True? Yay! And just go ashore. I don't know. That's weird. You shouldn't. Anyway. And the last battle. All right. Well, pretty well. There we go. The mermaids have retreated to the bottom of the sea where they will remain, if they are wise. Now comes the hard part, keeping all that I have conquered together. I think of the men who started this journey with me, men like Arnok the Hairless, and Pete Gurley, Foos the Axe, and Dridden the Scribe, and Eight Fingers Oba, of course. Most of them were dead now, and only Dridden was still part of my crew. But that's enough looking back. The past is over with, so what does it matter? It's time to look forward to the next day and the day after that. I stare out at the sea that I love, to the west where the sun will soon set, and I smile. What's next? I ask myself. Indeed, what's the next?
I learned later that my true father, Eight Fingers Oba, had settled on an island in the Gold Sea. He bought a fishing boat and built a small home near the shore where he planned to live the rest of his life. Before long, however, he was often seen in the company of a widow who lived nearby. Good for him.
Indeed. So this is the first one. Why I have a second one here is because I don't know actually. Never mind. Oops. Why did I do that? Anyway, it's the same score, so it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna put up this just because I'm gonna talk about the different campaigns and what my thoughts are about them, and I'm gonna do a ranking from 1 to 10 what I think or the score. I think the score, or what score I'm setting on the different campaigns. All right, so let's start with the True Blade. Great story, very well written, good gameplay, likable characters. Really like the characters. So the True Blade is, if you have followed this playthrough, the True Blade is about Lysander and his journey to be king over a country in the New World. After the Reckoning, of course. And also his squire Milton, which I really liked. I like both Lysander and Milton, and I can't remember all the other characters in the campaign, but a likable character overall. As I said, good story, very well written. All the stories here, for the most part, are very well written. There is one that I do not like that much, and if you have followed this series, you know which one it is. I made it pretty clear. Anyhow, back to the campaign. As I said, very good campaign, very good. I really enjoyed playing it. I really liked the story and so on. And I will say this as well. In my opinion, I think Heroes 4 have, with a slight edge, have a better. The stories in Heroes 4, the campaign, or the campaigns, are the most well written stories in the whole Heroes 4 universe. In my opinion, Heroes 3 have a very good story as well, and with the expansion as well. But here is like reading a small novel, which you don't do in Heroes 3. They're more no, they're not really. It's the same with the image and the floating text telling you. So that's the thing. In Heroes 4, you also get these small novels. Every campaign is like reading a small novel as well. So it's not only fun gameplay and fun scenarios to play through. They're also very well written stories in them, so it's like reading a small novel in a way. Anyway, so yeah, as I said, a very good campaign with all the factors. So I have to say I'm gonna give this a 10. I know it's a very high score, or the highest score, but I feel it was the first campaign I played when I first played this game, of course, and the same now. And I enjoyed the campaign both those times. I have enjoyed the campaign, so that's why it gets such a high score. All right, moving on to so this campaign is called the True Blade. This campaign, the Might campaign or Barbarian, I would say this in Heroes 4. This is life, so castle or humans in Heroes 3 and other Heroes games. I think they're called castle in 2 as well. No, they're called knights. They're anyway the same faction. And in Glory of Days Past, you play as Might or Barbarians or the Stronghold, or however you want to pronounce them, but Stronghold or Might. You play as Warjack, a Barbarian who tries to gather and organize the different barbarian tribes to make a kingdom and a country out of it. And here as well, fun gameplay, very well written story, well written overall, the storytelling. Likeable characters, really like Warjack and his father. Another character they are mentioning through the campaign. Overall, a very good campaign and very fun to play. Really like the scenarios. The first scenario is pretty hard and yeah, takes some quite some effort to get through compared to the True Blade, where actually every campaign was pretty easy, I must say. First one here a bit tougher, but after that one I wouldn't say the other scenarios were much of a challenge really, but very fun. So I would give this campaign a lower score because I didn't enjoy it as much as the first one, the True Blade. So I would give it a solid 8, a very solid 8. It's a good campaign, good story, likable characters, fun gameplay. The scenarios were fun to play through, but I also feel that it wasn't the story and the campaign wasn't that great that I feel with the True Blade. So it gets a lower score but still a high score. All right, let's move on to the price of peace. I would say besides the True Blade campaign, this is the best campaign in the best campaign in Heroes 4. It's so well written. It's the story is so well written. If you consider how they've written the story, it's very well done. Or everything you read about is very well written. You really, with all these, you get the characters, and you get the good background story of the characters, and you get involved in the characters, and you feel for them, and so on. And particularly in I should say in the True Blade, the Price of Peace, and Elven and Shara, those you really feel it. Also in these two. So these 5 campaigns I really feel for the characters. More so in some than others, but overall all these, yeah, you feel for the characters. In this one, no. I must say that right now, no, I don't. I will get into a Pirate's Daughter, so I will continue with the Price of Peace. So very well written story, very well done overall with the novel parts, if you can call it that. But when you get the text, it's very well written. The story is very well made up. Likable characters, very likable characters. I like Emilia Nighthaven and Solmir. They're also mentioning Magnus, Gavin Magnus, who is the villain in this story, or becomes the villain in this story. What was the name of the dwarf who's with Emilia all the time? I can't remember now, but I like the dwarf as well. So yeah, fun gameplay. I would say that the first campaign was, or scenario was, a tiny bit boring to play through. Not that fun, but after that one, I felt like, wow, it's getting better and better. The story, excellent. If you have as I said, if you have followed this series, you should know my reaction when they have the last battle with Gavin Magnus and his army. And I thought, oh fuck, Emilia is going. Is she going to die now? No, she only get paralyzed. But anyway. Also like the relationship between Solmir and Emilia, and Solmir and Gavin Magnus. Solmir is still very loyal and feels very much for Gavin Magnus, even though he goes against him. They describe how Solmir is visiting Magnus in the prison, and Magnus is just because of what's happening in the last battle. Magnus is like a fucking vegetable in the. Okay, I didn't have to say fucking, but he's like a vegetable. Damn. He's like a vegetable in. After the battle, so it's just like looking out the prison window and staring at the sky, and doesn't speak any words and so on. But Solmir is just sitting in his prison cell and making company. And talking to him, but he doesn't react really to his what he's saying. Anyhow, but I like that part as well. It's very well written, and you really feel for, even though Magnus is the villain, what he wanted to do with the world and the people in the world, you still feel for him in a way. So yeah, very likable characters, well written characters. Very, very well done. New World Computing with all the campaigns and all the stories overall. So, as you can imagine, or as you realize, I will give this campaign, The Price of Peace, a 10 out of 10 as well. Yes, it's a high. I could be more critic to the campaigns, but I would say no, I enjoyed them a lot. Yeah, as you will see if you've looked them through, yeah, I get frustrated and angry and are yelling and screaming sometimes, but it's not that often. It's when the computer is getting very annoying and has the bullshit factors, like you're doing a battle and you're like, fuck, it didn't went that well. I lost too many troops, or even your hero dies and you're like, fuck, I have to reload, and you reload, and then the first battle the enemies doesn't get morale, and then the second battle, or the when you redo the battle, you load, they get morale, and they do it all the time, and just annoying stuff and bullshit from the game. You have to bear with it, but it's annoying, so that's why I get those reactions when it's too much of it. But anyway, as I've said on my channel, it's what you see is what you get. I won't edit stuff out when I get frustrated or angry or yelling or like anything. I will show you who the real Doffelheim is, and when he plays games. Anyway, a 10, a 10, and an 8. So True Blade a 10, absolutely. The Price of Peace a 10. Glory of Days Past a solid 8, very solid 8, almost a 9, but a solid 8. So let's move on to Elven and Shaira. I will say this. When I first clicked on this campaign, I imagined the image as well was like, okay, is this gonna be a fucking love story? And yes, it is. But not the love story that you may think, with a lot of you know, touchy stuff and just focusing on the love story and nothing else. And you get the picture. Typical Hollywood B movie love story. No, or boring love story. Maybe a bad word, but you know, the icky stuff, as they say. No, but you get the picture. You get the picture. You get it. Not this love story like that at all. No. I first thought like, oh, okay, I'm gonna play through it. Okay, this love story. Come on, yeah, just move on. But when I had played after the first scenario, I was like, okay, I see what I'm seeing what you're doing here. This could be really good, and it was. It was really good. So story and the writing, very well done. Very well done. You get so involved in the characters and the story. Very well done. I must say, I was surprised how much I liked this campaign. I didn't think I would like this campaign as much as I did. It is a very well written story. The gameplay, oh my god, so much fun with the gameplay. I had fun through the whole campaign, actually. So much fun. Characters, yes, you get so involved with the characters. They are so likable, and you hate some of them, like you do in all the villains or the antagonists are. You hate them, but you can also like them in a way, if you get what I'm saying. Not that you like them like, oh, I like this character, it's very good. You like them how they have made them, how they made the villains in these campaigns. And yeah, Elven and Shira, I really like the characters. Sure, Elven, or how it started out is that Elven is this brat that mingles around the courts and the different like balls and gatherings they have at the courts, and he's like a sort of a Casanova. This very charming elf, very good look. He's described as very good looking and can really articulate and really speak for himself. So all that. One sec. All right, I have my cat I have my cat in my lap, so He wants some company. And he wants to cuddle a bit. Feels a bit alone. Yeah, boy. Alright, anyway, the Elvin and Shira campaign. Yeah, lay down. You can lay down. Here you go. There you go, boy. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, very well written story. And as I said, yeah, I talked about Elvin. So first off, I felt like, oh, he's this fucking brat, so on. But he evolves through the campaign. He gets from being this brat that only are mingling through courts and stuff in the kingdom. The Elven Kingdom. To be a warrior, to be a king of the country. Elven country. So he's making a very personal journey through this campaign, where he evolves from being not so much somebody to be a king. And I really like that, because they are doing it very well in the story, telling that part. He also has his struggles and so on. And also, I feel like the love between Elvin and Shira feels really real and very well written. So yeah, that campaign is a very good campaign overall, and I will give it a 9 out of 10. Yes, a 9 out of 10, because it's also one of my favorites. I would say that the True Blade, the Price of Peace, and Elvin and Shira are my favorites in this in these campaigns, or of these campaigns, I mean. Very closely followed by Glory of Past Days and Half Dead. The Half Dead campaign. I would say that these two campaigns are like almost the same, or I feel the same for them, what I think about them. Alright. So, yeah, I don't have to say more about the Elvin and Shira campaign, what I think about it. I think it is pretty clear. So let's move on to Half Dead with Goldoff. The Half Dead. He's actually a relative to Lysander and the Griffinheart family. So that's a cool aspect. He really likes this, my cat, when I'm cuddling with him. Yeah, this is nice. Alright, Half Dead campaign with Goldoff. Really like the campaign, actually, all along. Or yeah, I really like the campaign overall, not all along. Overall, sorry. Overall, I really like the campaign. Very well written. The story is, yeah, it's good. It's a good story. Particularly at the end. It's I liked it more than the beginning. I liked the beginning. Then the middle part was like, meh. All right, I don't really know what I like, what I think about this campaign. Then I really like the end of the campaign. It's very well done. I also like the part with the female priest and what he's doing to her. It's gruesome and brutal, but in the same way, very much the character. It fits the Goldoff very well as a character. He also has this struggle because he's half dead. He has one half of his body is alive and the other one is dead. His dead part is much stronger as well. And he's always struggling about with that until the end. He really values human life and life overall. But he also has this undead part of him. and he tries to he really tries to compromise with those two parts. But yeah, anyway, very well written story, very well, everything is very well written overall. A fun gameplay overall. Some scenarios was less fun than others, but overall fun gameplay. And likable characters. I really like Goldoff and other characters that are described in the story. So I will give this actually a 9. Not a strong or a solid 9, but a 9. A strong solid 8 and a to a 9. So then we have 10.
I know you don't understand it now,
Sorry.
Werejack,
Shh.
but someday you will.
Sorry, I didn't mean to click on the campaign. Sorry. True Blade 10. Glory of Days Past 8. A solid 8. And The Price of Peace a 10. Elven and Shera a 9. And then Half Dead 9. A solid 8. A very solid 8. And or a very strong 8 and 9. Not a strong 9, but a 9. I have a bit of a problem to sorry, I'm losing words here. To determine which score I want on this one, but I would say a very strong or very strong 8, a 9. So let's say a 9. All right, then we are finally. We are finally at the point what I think about A Pirate's Daughter campaign. And I'm gonna be honest and very frank with this. Not my favorite campaign. No, absolutely not. All these 5s, yeah, I really like them. Really like. This is a different kind of campaign as well, because in all these 5, they are fighting and have the loyalty for their people, their country they want to build, like in Glory of Day Past. He tries to unite the different barbarian clans and build a country, or form a country and a kingdom out of that. In the True Blade, Lysander is trying to keep his position as king for Ladria, I think it's called, the country. And also has this loyalty to his people, to his country, to his companions. They, in all these, they do. In Elven and Shera, it's more also the love and the loyalty and so on for each other. Even though with magic, Shera get tricked and fall in love with another elf that are jealous of Elven and Shera's love. But besides that, it's the same. Here in this campaign, it's love for his father, his loyalty and love for the country he have made. In this campaign, it's love. Emilia shows loyalty and love for the country she have made, and trying to protect that land. And also there's the love for the whole world and the people in it, that if Gavin Magnus would have succeed, all people and the different races like dwarves and elves and so on would have been mindless drones. And that's why they have to stop him. So again, love for the country she built up and made, and the people that followed her, and so on, and the people of the land. In Half Dead, it's the same, but also different. He's trying to protect the world from sort of a undead death, I think it's a devil, kind of a demon or devil, that devil god that tries to gain more and more power so he can soak all the living lives from the world and make them his minions. So Goldoff the Half-Dead also have this love for his country that he built, and he doesn't. It also shows that he doesn't care about conquering other countries or gain more land. So in that campaign as well, they have this. It's a theme of a way, but also very different in every campaign. In A Pirate's Daughter, there is no such thing. It's only greed and brutality and selfishness, and yeah, a lot of. So I get it. It's pirates and yada yada yada. I would say though that if they've taken some of ideas from the Pirates of the Caribbean, like I mean the humor in those films and that kind of stuff, it would have made, I think, a better campaign. I don't know, but I just feel like the story is mediocre in my opinion. It's not. First I thought like, okay, I don't know about this campaign. I have to see more to have an opinion about it. But then later on I felt like, okay, I can feel compassion for Tawny Balfour, the character. Okay, but then again, but nope, I was wrong. No, I don't like her. She's a fucking bitch. She thinks she's better than everyone. They also paint her like this strong, independent woman that no man can touch, and she can bester every man that she meets, and so on. It's just feminist bullshit for me. I mean, why do the character like that? Why not show her some weakness? Sure, when she fight against Pete Gurley, she get whipped on her cheek, and so, but I mean, they don't describe. Excuse me. I'm gonna finish this. Sorry, I'm gonna finish this summary of the campaigns. Anyway, they don't really describe that fight as a really struggling fight for her. She overcome every part in a way and wins, and those parts aren't that suffering for her. Not really. But I liked also that they described that fight as they did in a way, because it showed a little bit that she has her weaknesses, but the same way not really, because then again they describe her, or they're playing up scenarios. When you read the text, you get this picture of like, okay, now she's doing this and that, and that what happened before doesn't matter really, because it have not changed her in a better way, just make her more more selfish, and that she feels that he's more powerful and stronger than before, and Anyway, okay, fine. If you have that fight like with Pete Gurley and you won, sure, you feel more confident and more powerful, but there is no humility from her or any she's not she has no generosity against her other pirates. I don't know how to describe it really. She's just feels like a fucking bitch. Almost through the whole campaign. Also her story, how it's described how her mother treated her in that situation when she was a little girl, and what she did. It's like, oh, okay, they want me to feel compassion for Twani, but I couldn't really do that. I didn't really feel it. It's like, okay, whatever, just get through the story. I don't really care. I don't really care, and I think that's the problem. How they have made this character Twani. She's not likable. You feel like, for me at least, I felt no compassion for her or sorry for her. It was like, no, she is a bitch. She thinks she's better than everyone. She's acting like she does and doesn't care. It's only her way or the highway. Sure, she is a pirate captain, so I get it, but still. If they made the same thing with a man, people, oh, it's so typical. Oh, masculine man. Oh, masculinity. Oh, that's bad. Oh, strong, independent woman. Shoo, wow. And I feel like, oh, come on, do something better with the character. And that's my whole opinion about the character. So, if I come to the gameplay, actually, the gameplay was very fun. Very much fun. The gameplay. Really enjoyed it, actually. The whole campaign and the scenarios was very much fun gameplay wise, and what you did on the map. Very fun and challenging, actually. I think the toughest campaign of all. Yeah, the toughest campaign of them all, I must say. The other campaigns had their struggles in some of the scenarios, but okay, I should say this. No, the first scenario was the toughest one. The other ones not that hard, actually. I thought they should be tougher, now that I'm honest. Anyway, gameplay wise, very solid, very good. Well done. Story, kind of mediocre, didn't really care about it. Character, do not like the character in this campaign. I don't like her at all. And that's not because she's a woman. It's because how they picture her, how they describe this character and everything. I didn't really get involved in her story and her background. I was more like, okay, let's move on. Some text I read was, okay, this is, it's still well written, but it's not a well written story. So when I read some of the texts, I was like, okay, this is interesting, or this is well written, or oh, what's gonna happen later, but I wasn't that involved in it. So for me, the story, it's still well written, but the story itself is mediocre in my opinion. They could have done it better and done more with it. This whole, oh, my father was Black Balfour and then he died and then I have to take over and then I want to do this. And she's also described like that. She wants more and more and more and more all the time. And she's never It's never enough for her. And also Oba confronts her with that you drove some people into what they became. Like Pete Gurley, the only thing he wanted was a ship. Sure, it's a kind of childish revenge from Pete Gurley, what Tawny did to him, but sure, to be honest, I would have done the same thing if she did that to me. And I would have won. But that's why I don't like her. She's doing these bad decisions, these wrong decisions, because she's selfish and she thinks she's better than everyone else and more powerful and everything, and she doesn't care about any of her crewmates or the people around her and so on. She only cares about herself, and that's why I don't like her. In the beginning I was like, oh, I like the relationship Pete Gurley and she has, and then all of a sudden they just twisted around and tried to make Pete Gurley a villain. And that he really isn't any villain in this story, in my opinion at least. He's just mistreated by Tawny, and it leads to this forgot the word. This rivaling between them. I also thought like, oh, so typical. Of course Oba was her father. I mean, oh, of course. So that part made me feel less for the story as well. It was, oh, it's too obvious. It's, come on. I mean, who cares if Black for Oba was her father? Why do this twist? Make it interesting ending in of the story. It's like, me, I don't care. I mean, I don't care. I don't give a shit if he was her father or not. Sure, she describes that biologically Oba is her father, but in her soul and how she is forced into like Balfour's world, and how that have forged her and made her the way she is. Sure, she does that comparison and tells us that in the story, but for me it was, yeah, I already knew that from how you're acting, so I don't really care, actually. I'm just gonna... Okay. Okay, now I've been talking very long, and I feel we are done. So, okay, I'm gonna summarize what I've... my score of the last campaign, Pirate's Daughter. As I said, very fun gameplay. I would say it's still well written, but the story is mediocre. The only character I really liked in the story was Arnak the Hereos, and I like Pete Gurley as well in a way, but yeah, not very much, but I liked him overall. I mean, didn't really get to know him, but I liked Arnak the Hereos. I liked Oba. I really liked Oba. He's like, he was my fucking hero in this campaign. When he confronted Tawny about her actions she made and why do you not stop? And she's like, this words. Yeah, she doesn't care. She's like, oh, whatever. I'm gonna do this because I'm made like this. Anyway, yeah, you get my point. So I really liked how he confronted her. I liked him through the whole campaign in a way. He was always this character who was around everything that happened. He was strong in his actions, and it felt like a good character. Twani, nope, I don't like her. I don't hate her, but I don't like her either. And I didn't felt I really got involved in her character or her back. I didn't really care about her background story or anything. It felt very like a very sad. They made it like gonna be a sad story. So feel sorry for Twani. That kind of for me it was why if she hadn't acted like she did in different scenarios throughout the campaign, I would have at the time I did. There was some text. Okay, I can feel compassion for her. Okay, I can see her side. I understand, but then more came, and they were telling more about her action, what her thoughts, and about the character. And I'm like, nope, I don't care. She's a bitch. So, no, I don't like the character. So anyway, fun gameplay, very fun gameplay. Well written still, but mediocre story. Don't care about the characters, or the main character at least, Twani. So I'm gonna be generous and give this a 6, a solid 6, and a very weak 7. So something between that, but I will stay with the 6. And most of that is because because of the gameplay, and that I still feel like they were trying to make a good story out of that campaign, but in my opinion, they didn't succeed as good as the other campaigns. All right. Now I have talked about the campaigns, given them a score from 1 to 10, what I think they should have, and also summarized them overall. And talked about my thoughts of the campaigns. So you may not agree with me. If you have followed my playthroughs, you may think that Twani or the Pirate's Daughter campaign is the best one, and that's your opinion, and that's totally fine by me. But I don't. In my opinion, that was the worst campaign of them all. Anyway. Overall, these are the best written stories and campaigns through the whole Heroes universe, in my opinion. They're as good as Heroes 3, but even a bit better. Not much at all, but not much, I should not say at all, but not much. But they are a bit better, but that's because of the novel stuff in the campaigns, that you read a lot of text, so you get to know the characters and what's happening in the world and the story and all that, and it's so good. Actually, it's very good, and I miss this kind of games. That's why I want to show you them, show you these kind of good old games, or good games overall, because today, or now for like almost a decade, I would say, God, there have been some shitty games that you thought should be good, but they weren't. And that's why I want to show you this and influence you to, influence you, or how you say, influence you to pick up these games and play them. Mr. Wee, one of my subscribers, left a comment on one of my Might and Magic 9 videos and told me that he had finished the game and he really liked the story and he had fun with the game overall, really enjoyed it, and that he also thought that that was the best story of all the Might and Magic games. I do not agree with him, but I felt it a nice feeling and it felt good to inspire him to play these games, or particularly that game, and also that he enjoyed it as he did. And that's what I'm saying. That's one of the parts, or one of the parts of this YouTube channel. I want to inspire you to play good games or good old games and see how games was once in the time when they did good games, or at least solid games. They may not been the best games made through the game history, but they were still good and enjoyable. And that's a reason why I have this channel and show you these games. Okay, enough talk. I've talked too long. I really hope you enjoyed this playthrough with Hereos 4. No, I'm not gonna play the expansions, not now anyway, maybe sometime in the future, but I do hope you enjoy this episode and you have enjoyed the playthrough of Hereos 4, and that I have inspired you to look up Hereos 4 or any other Heroes of Might and Magic game, or yeah, just made you a good time watching this. Yeah, it's been a nice journey playing through Hereos 4. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you did as well. And if you did, do subscribe and like, because that really helps. I want my channel to grow, and you guys are the only ones that can help me do so. Don't forget to hit that notification bell if you want to get notified when I put up a video next time. And with that said, I hope you have a very nice day, evening, night, morning, whatever the time is, but that you have a nice time wherever you are in the world. And with that said, take care. Doffelheim out.